Oh, I should have wore another shirt. I'm a little cold. I think I got some shirts over here. I forgot I just did the laundry. The laundry. I have a couple things to share. I'm gonna put this shirt and I'll be back. Oh, sorry. All right. I'm coming, y'all. Just putting this shirt on. It's chilly in here. Built up on the feelings all you know. Remember the feelings of strange. Let it go. Oh, let it go. I couldn't wait for you to go live. Can you speak on the end times? Hello, my friend. Um, I don't know if we're gonna touch on too much end times today, but sure, I'll try. But I did have a specific message I wanted to touch on today as well. But if something comes up, absolutely, my friend, I'll try my best and just let the Lord lead me. I hope you're doing well tonight, my friend. All right, I appreciate your support as well. All right, I want to talk about a couple current things as well. I have a couple notes in front of me, and I'm gonna go through them. Hold on, there's a name I want to pull up as well. Okay, I'm sure it'll be good. By the way, I watch your video every night to put me to sleep and to hear the word of the Lord and just to be reminded that He's on His way. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. And I'm glad that it at least helps you sleep. I appreciate it. I've never heard anyone say that. That's pretty cool. When I go to sleep, sometimes I like to listen to those videos that play like the scripture because they have so many different ones now. They have the ones that are very soothing. There's a channel called Abide that I listen to a lot now. Actually, I will say that the Lord actually just played it on my phone because when you listen to certain things when you go to sleep, God will like try to change it and like lead you somewhere else. I don't know if you guys experienced that, but I've experienced that. So just want to put that out there. But thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So I wanted to talk about Texas a little bit and RFK Jr. He is currently he's the head of Health and Human Services appointed by Donald Trump. Now, during his campaign, RFK did kind of campaign a bit for Trump as well. And he did say a lot of very concerning things about measles. Sorry, I have a little mint candy in my mouth. He talked a lot about some type of research that was connecting, I guess, measles to autism. So, and he also was like a big conspiracy theories about certain vaccines. Now, this is a whole nother topic that we can touch on because I do believe there are certain vaccines that I wouldn't personally get, but the measles vaccine I have that. My kids have, I believe they have that as well. I have to check their thing. I think they have it, but that's not something I'm concerned about. Measles, I think people should get the measles vaccine. Now, if God led me not to get something, I wouldn't, like the C-19 one. I won't be getting that. My kids don't have that. I would never will get it. Now, because he did say these concerning things, and because of this, like this, I guess they said that the doctor that had the research done about the measles vaccine, apparently when I guess when they investigated it, he had like a special interest in it because I guess there was some. I'm sorry if I'm paraphrasing, but if you look online, there's information's there. He had personal interest in it because I guess there was some company that he was a part of that was pushing something that had that had him profiting from people not getting the measles vaccine. I would have to look into it more, but basically, I guess the doctor that put that research together, his license was revoked because of it. Because I guess the findings that he had, they were deemed to be false. So the reason why I bring this up is RFK himself have said things about the measles vaccine and vaccine as a whole and a conspiracy about it. Now this has had some bad out, you know, turned out bad. It has created a bad situation in Texas because apparently Texas has a very horrible measles outbreak right now. Now people are trying to get it under control, but the issue that they're having there is that nobody wants to take the vaccine because of the things they've been hearing. Now, this is with the whole health department. This is a big issue because they haven't seen such a horrible outbreak in like decades. So it's like, and it's spreading like from Texas to other places. So, if you're traveling, just be careful. Be careful. Don't stop in Texas. I wouldn't because I believe eventually they're gonna probably put up like a health border there where people probably won't be able to travel there because again people are refusing the vaccine, so it's been spreading like crazy. So I definitely won't be going to Texas because I got young kids and I already got compromised health. I have I'm severely anemic, you know. I have terrible allergies, nothing serious, but I have terrible allergies. I'm very anemic. My family has like heart issues and things like that, so it's not for me. They're crazy for doing that. Secondly, I wanted to talk about the fact that Trump removed the United States from NATO. Now, this is very, very concerning. I did hear Trump talk about this on his first term a lot, that he's wanting to remove us from NATO. Now, I don't remember if he did it in his first term as well, but definitely we have been removed from NATO currently in this term that he's serving. Now, the title of this video is that Trump is basically burning America to the ground on purpose. Now, I talked about the end times and how I saw in the future how America will be attacked. And I'll reiterate again, we will be attacked in the end times by two countries. It is China and Russia. China and Russia will combine their military into one, into a super military, and they will attack us. Now, this is concerning that we've been removed from NATO because NATO does also gives us a security blanket as well in case that we are in a situation kind of like how Ukraine is right now. Ukraine desperately wants to be a part of NATO because a nation being a part of NATO is an extremely large security blanket. So, for example, them being a part of NATO also helps them with things like wartime. So, if Ukraine was a part of NATO previous to the war, then all of those allies would be required by law, international law, to step in to help them, and not just with money, not just with currency aid, actual physical troops on the ground. So so because they were not a part of NATO, they were not required to help them. Now, Trump's first term, he was talking a whole bunch of garbage saying that, oh, we give out more in NATO than we get back. To him, everything is just about getting something back. Always to get something back. Now, the U.S. doesn't have any type of position to be trying to get anything back from anyone, okay? We are in a tremendous amount of debt, and that's not going to change. The debt ceiling has been rising for years. We've just been like putting more debt on it. To be exact, we have $36.22 trillion in debt, and that's, listen. To be honest, that's not going to change. The U.S. will continue to be in debt until Jesus returns, and that's a pretty serious thing to say, but that's true. So the fact that his first term, he kept talking about how we keep giving aid and doing this for other people, and we're part of NATO and we're giving, but we're not getting back. To that again, same sentiments. He always wants to recoup something when hypocritically, this nation has taken from others and hasn't paid back. And the U.S. is not just in debt to China. We are in debt to other nations, other countries. We have a huge amount of debt here, period. And let's just be real. It's just not gonna. We're never gonna chip through over $36 trillion. And that's why I say when people are talking about, yeah, Elon and Trump is gonna give us these refund checks of $5,000, that's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. With $36.22 trillion in debt, that wouldn't even make a dent. Okay. You're not getting $5,000 back. Please don't hold your breath. Don't let these people lie to you. I talked to you about a year ago when I was homeless in the army now. Wow. Blessings, my friend. I'm so glad you're doing well. Wow, that's a big testimony right there, and thank you so much for serving and providing that protection to these people, the people of the United States. And I'm so glad that you are no longer homeless. May the Lord bless you. Wow, it's good to have you back, my friend. Um, so I wanted to talk about that. Okay, NATO. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm looking over here as well. I have some notes that I've wanted to go over. There's some things that I just didn't mention in the last video, and I wanted to make sure I touched on them because it was pretty important. Now, the reason why I bring up NATO is because I talked a little bit about what's to come with the coming war that's going to happen in the United States between the United States versus China and Russia, okay? When this war happens, we are going to very much regret the fact that we are not a part of NATO. And when I told you about this coming war that's going to happen here, I told you that I basically saw that no one came to our aid. So this makes a lot of sense to me now. The fact that we don't have that security blanket. How your daughter doing? They are doing well. Um, I have two girls, London and Paris. They're sleeping right now. It's nighttime, so they're tired. They're sleeping. They are doing so good. Thank you for asking. Yeah, they're big now. They're four now. They're getting up there in age. Now they think they run the show. Technically, they do. How's everyone on your side? Thank you, my friend. Good. So, yeah, I bring it up to say that um, to me, it's becoming more clear as to why we didn't receive any help in this war. Um, we are severely disliked currently because of Donald Trump with this whole not supporting our European allies. A lot of them are turning their backs on us, and this is going to lead up to a very vicious war in this country where we are not going to receive the aid that we will need. So it's a combination of Trump himself with the horrible politics, terrible tariffs, leaving NATO, angering our allies, is a bunch of things. I'm pretty sure more things to come as to why these people would not help us. I just graduated basic training about 3 weeks ago. 6 months, no phone, no nicotine, no freedom. Ugh. Wow, basic training sounds really tough. They really seclude you guys like that much. Wow. God bless you. That's tough. 6 months, no phone. You know what? That might be kind of like weird to not have any connection. I don't know if it's that severe, if they allow you to use a computer or anything, but not having that connection to the outside world, or maybe it actually helped you because I feel like I'm addicted to my phone. So I don't know if it actually was a good thing. Yeah, they gave us 3 days passes. LOL. Oh my goodness. 3 days. Dude, I would be on the phone all day in the 3 days, like trying to figure out what's going on in the world. Let's see. Okay, I also want to talk about immigration because, that's a big topic right now. The fact that Trump is deporting, LOL, right? The fact that Trump is deporting all of these people and all these farmers are complaining that their food is rotting and all this stuff and they can't find anyone to help them on the farm and and plant stuff and pick anything. It's pretty damn sad, honestly. It's sad. Um, but this is what they voted for. And I just find that to be ironic because Trump keeps saying that people, Mexico is sending their worst people and blah 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 and all this stuff. But now Trump himself is saying that he is gonna be offering a Trump gold card for citizenship, and the only thing that these people need to do to get permanent citizenship into the United States is to pay $5 million. Now, I know that sounds like I just made that up. It sounds like a South Park episode, like I'm trolling. No, this is not. We must learn that when it comes to Donald Trump, people are not joking. It may sound like a joke, it sounds like a circus, but 9 times out of 10, it's true. You could look it up right now. There's even a video of him explaining the whole process, which is so simplified. It's sad because he's saying Mexico's sending their worst people, but he's offering citizenship for $5 million to anyone that can afford it. No, his whole logic about offering this gold card is that if they could afford to give us $5 million, then that means that these are successful people that are probably the best minds. Now, this is a sad sentiment of Donald Trump. He's a one trick pony. All he really cares about is money. All he cares about is finances. He thinks that having money equates to success. You could literally be a millionaire, billionaire, and still be a loser. And Elon Musk is a great example of that. Trump himself is a great example of that. Having money does not make you better. It does not make you smarter, and it doesn't take away the stain of being a loser. They're both losers. All I know is that if he wasn't president, I'd probably be in Russia getting blown up by a drone right now. Oh my goodness. So, so are you saying that you believe that basically, if Biden were to be serving right now, that Biden would put U.S. troops into Ukraine? Is that what you're saying? Are you basically saying that basically Trump is the reason why you're not there? Hi Lloyd, hey my friend. He's not my he's not my favorite president, but we don't have too much good choices. My friend, unfortunately, you will be changing your mind shortly before this year ends about that. Lord, exactly, amen. Well, what if I told you that you won't have to leave the United States to be in the middle of a war? What if I told you not too long from now, not sure about what year it is, but it's not far, that because of Donald Trump, not only will you be in the middle of a war in the United States, but you will be in the middle of an invasion. And because of Donald Trump and his loose mouth, that what is coming to this country, the military will not have any response, not quick enough, to stop the slaughtering that will be coming here. China and Russia will be coming to this nation. They will be ambushing the United States. They will somehow come here undetected in some type of extreme ambush where they're going to be cornering the largest cities in America and then spreading out everywhere else. It will be a complete siege. Even though Trump has not allowed the American soldiers, the American military to be over there in Ukraine, we will still go to war regardless in our own backyards. I don't like talking politics. Have a good night. My friend, that is fine. Right now I'm speaking prophecy. Yes, this topic is about, what I'm talking about is politics as well, but this is also prophecy. Now, you might be taking that very, very negatively right now, but in the future you will remember what I said today. Don't be surprised because I told you it's coming. You will see Chinese soldiers here and you will see a Russian military here. You're going to see them here someday, and you will remember that I told you that today. Now, prepare your hearts, prepare yourselves physically, prepare yourselves spiritually, because what's coming here is not going to stop. May the Lord bless you, my friend. Good night. All right, let's move on. Wait, I did want to touch on just a little bit more about the gold card. We can't take another 4 years of this man. So many stress already. Lord, I totally agree. I feel the stress every day. Just turning the TV on is always something crazy. He's always doing something insane. But I spoke about this strategy that he's using. He's doing it purposely. Steve Bannon, he's basically a Trump campaign strategist for Steve Bannon. He's the one that basically advised Trump that he needed to align himself with the KKK to get the votes of the white supremacists in this country. And he openly admitted that. That was a part of the strategy. What is also a part of Trump's campaign strategy is that Steve Bannon again said this himself because he advised Trump to do this, is to blast the media with at least 3 different stories. So he'll do 3 different outrageous things and completely blast the media to the point where people can't even keep up. So if you hear one story, expect to hear another and another and another and another. That's his whole game. They're doing it on purpose. So that's why you heard about tariff stuff, and then you heard immigration, and you hear all this stuff at the same time. Because it's a distraction. They're trying to distract you from anything that's going on behind the scenes. And they're also creating like this big cloud of a mess. Because there's a different agenda on the bottom, which is the complete annihilation of the U.S. economy, a complete annihilation of the U.S. in general and our reputation. Now, Trump he's a weird character to me because it's almost easy to just write him off as a troll, to write him off as someone that's very stupid, because he is all of those things, that's true. But like people say, 2 things can be true at the same time. Things can be all different truths running simultaneously. He may be stupid. He may be uneducated. He may be unqualified. And at the same time, he's still planning something with these things that he's doing, these moves he's making. It's all a plan. There's something at the end for him. Destruction, confusion, hate, race war, all of that. Consolidation of power. Yes, yes. Amen. That's where he's trying to take this. And what is this obsession with gold? Why is it a Trump gold card? And why does he keep putting his name on things? A Trump gold card? I mean, it's just strange. Let's talk about Musk for a little bit here. Elon Musk and this whole Doge department, he keeps babbling about fraud. Look, I know the government has fraud. You don't need to tell me that. There's fraud everywhere. There's fraud all over this world, and I don't doubt that the government is full of fraud. Okay, they fraud just they fraud so much they can't even find the fraud. First of all, there's trillions, millions and trillions of dollars going through the U.S. economy, millions and billions of dollars. There's bound to be someone somewhere siphoning off the money to something, doing something illegal. And this brings up another point to me. When I was in my kitchen earlier today, I was thinking about the president and his position, and the fact that people elected Trump because they said he's a businessman, he's a businessman. And I can't even imagine the things that were going through his head, the thoughts that he was having when they put the paperwork in front of a person like a Trump, who's a liar, a thief, manipulative, the same man that didn't pay these contractors for any of his businesses work that he's had done on his hotels, all that. Just defrauded these people to the point where some of them had to take him to court. It's known. I can imagine the things and the thoughts going through the head of a person like that when they presented him with the financial records of the United States, and Trump saw how much money was being collected from the American people just in taxes alone. It's tremendous. Okay. And I can imagine the schemes and the thoughts going through his mind of what he can do and how can he give himself tax breaks and enrich himself and the companies that he owns and do it legally. And some a lot of it illegally as well. So there's an agenda there. I can't even imagine the greed and the grin on this man's face when he saw how much money actually goes through the economy and how much funds are just there. The numbers are coming off the page, and that is like putting crack in front of a person that is addicted to crack. He's addicted to money. He's addicted to attention. I don't think there's two things that in the world that he doesn't love more than money and attention. So these cuts and all these things that him and Musk is doing, Doge and all that, this is just something to enrich themselves. Of course he would steal from the American people. He stole from Americans already, contractors. I would not put that past him. He's stealing money for himself for SpaceX and Mars missions to escape judgment. Exactly, Lloyd. And people, it's funny, people are calling Musk now because Musk has been saying that all these people defrauding the government and people getting, entitlements and blah, 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 entitlement, but him himself have all these government contracts. I find it so wild that the video that I put on my channel about 2 years ago, there's a two-part video. And I think the title is like Elon Musk World Domination Agenda. In those videos, I mentioned something about government contracts. And again, this was 2 years ago. I said that Musk will have government contracts relating to Tesla, and I said multiple government contracts. And now look where we are in 2025. Musk has multiple government contracts. Now, prior to this, I wasn't aware of him having any. Correct me if I'm wrong, if he had any. But I prophesied that he would have some type of a Tesla train, like a bullet train, kind of similar to the ones in Japan. And also, I saw him using Tesla like a ride sharing type of thing, kind of in the future where it's like almost like he bought into Lyft and Uber or something, combination contract or something. He's just greedy. And then people are saying that with all these government contracts, even the one that they canceled the other day with Verizon, and gave it to Musk. This is probably his like fifth or sixth government contract. Like, how much more money does he want from the American people? But he says there's waste, fraud, and abuse. Looks like he's abusing the system. All these funds, they're starting to call him what was the term they were using for him now? It was so funny. Um, Benefits queen. Yes, they call him. They said that Musk is the biggest benefits queen. He took money from Verizon contract to SpaceX mission. Exactly. Even you heard about it, my friend. It's ridiculous. But he said that we, the people of America, are taking advantage because we want, oh, God forbid, we want health care. And Musk is so rich that he could like pay for the best health care and best doctors in the world, but we are greedy because we want basic health care, which is sometimes not even basic. It's terrible. But the American people can't even afford it. Like, the healthcare system itself is a whole nother topic. It's screwed up. It's screwed up, man. And this like very disheartening to hear that he's cutting all of these things because some of these programs are essential. Like, for example, there was a program that was helping for cancer research for kids. They completely cut off funding to that. There was also programs that were helping people with HIV/AIDS to get them medical assistance and to help them basically survive and live through the AIDS virus. Cut off the funding to that. There were also programs for the veterans, VA benefits that have been severely cut, slashed. And also there were basically some benefits for the elderly, older generation people, and also the veterans that would help them with resources for food. Also slashed, also cut off. Also, the benefits that were helping people with their light bill. There was a program that I forget what state it was in. I don't think it was in my state because my bills always high regardless. But I guess there was some type of benefits that was helping them slash their getting a percentage off of their light bill. And now these companies are telling the people basically, not only do you owe an additional $160, but you owe us this and that, like $800. You owe us thousands of dollars for previous I don't know how they're trying to make this legal. I don't know if it is legal, but these companies are back paying them, or back requesting the money. Like, some of these people are saying they owe hundreds of dollars. Like this, I don't know. This is crazy. This is crazy. I don't know if it's because they're like trying to recoup the money from months prior that the people receive the benefits, but they need to look into that because it does sound kind of illegal. Because I don't know how they're justifying that. Because basically these people are in debt to them now. It's just strange. But yeah, we are just entitled. Oh yeah, sure. So, okay, let me move past the citizenship thing. I also want to talk about Sean Duffy. Now, okay, before I move on to Sean Duffy, I want to talk about just slightly touch on this. There's freaking Elon Musk. He keeps saying there's all this fraud, right? With as loud as and obnoxious as Elon Musk is in the way he uses social media, and he just never shuts up. The man literally showed up on stage with a chainsaw. Okay, and with as loud and obnoxious as he is, if he seriously found all this fraud, this man would be blasting it all over Twitter. And you know what I'm saying is true because the type of personality that he has, he loves attention just like Trump, and he loves to be right. And he's a huge conspiracy theorist, talking about, him and Trump have this whole sentiment of draining the swamp. But like I've been saying for years, they're part of the swamp. Musk is the swamp. Trump is the swamp. If Musk found legitimate fraud, He would have been all over the freaking TV. He would be on Fox News. He would be on NBC. He would be all over Twitter. You wouldn't be able to stop his chat box from talking. Like, this is the type of person he is. So the fact that it's been all this time has passed and he still has nothing to say. I mean, he blasts people on Twitter for less. For less. I don't believe he found a damn thing. Because again, you wouldn't be able to stop him from talking. If he found something, he would be on TV with his notes like, look at this, look at this. That's the type of guy he is. Dude, keep looking. It's ridiculous. Let's talk about Sean Duffy. Because I wanted to look into this guy because people are just like super outraged by some of Trump's cabinet picks because it's like he keeps talking about how DEI this and these unqualified people have been put in positions of power and given jobs that they're not deserving of because they're either women or they're black or they're Hispanic or Indian or all this stuff. But yet he's appointed Sean Duffy to the U.S. Secretary of Transportation. So I was like, you know what? Let me look up that position real quick. He brought Twitter to manipulate the American people for Donald Trump antichrist setup election, exactly. And some people believe that Musk also, with his little hacker friends at Doge, manipulated manipulated the election with hackers. I don't know if that to be true, but seems like right up his alley. So I went ahead and looked up Sean Duffy, and let me see. Let me put him on the screen here. If you guys are not aware who Sean Duffy is, I have a photo of him. Hold on. That's probably not the best photo. There he is. That's Sean Duffy right there. This is him. He is the United States Secretary of Transportation. Now, let me just look into this here with you because I looked him up before I got on here and it was just outrageous. So I went on his Wikipedia because I wanted to know who this guy was. And if Trump keeps talking about DEI this and DEI, this guy better be qualified for the position that he has. He got 9 children. Oh my goodness. I hope with the same person since these people are just so, progressive, not progressive, excuse me, right wing and conservative. Okay, so let's look. All right, it says here, see, he first gained fame as a cast member of The Real World Boston. Sean Duffy's from The Real World, a reality show on MTV. All right. In 1998, Road Rules. Okay, so Real World Road Rules is like a spin-off of The Real World. So it's like a endurance type of show where they do like challenges, okay? They do challenges, but they're all like people from different seasons of The Real World. And the fact that I know that is because I used to watch those shows when I was younger. So he was on Road Rules and All Star Battles of the Seasons. So he went to the All Stars version of that show as well. Not no qualifications at all. All right, let's look what else. Let's look what else Sean Duffy. What else he's done. I have to admit there was at least one surprise in there about some job he had. Okay, so before going to serve as district attorney of Ashland County in Wisconsin, so he was a district attorney. So that I was shocked about because I didn't think he had any type of political background. So he was the district attorney for Ashland in Wisconsin. Okay. Ashland County. So in November 2024, Donald Trump named him as his nominee for Secretary of Transportation in his second presidency. He was confirmed by the United States to the office on January 28, 2025. Voted with 77 to 22 and was sworn in later that day. Now, when I read this, I was like, okay, is that it? Like, is that everything that he's done? Like, this gives the man the credentials to be the Secretary of Transportation? And I wanted to look into what do they actually do in that job. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back up because I had it. I think I have a photo of it as well. No, my bad. Because I was very intrigued by this all. Like, I didn't even Hey King, hey my friend. All right, so okay, I think I wrote it down. Okay, so basically, the Secretary of Transportation, it is kind of, I guess, in the name you could kind of guess. So they're basically he's responsible for maintaining, well, not maintaining. He's just responsible for the highways, airports, railways, and also just public transportation. So the buses, everything like that. Hey sister, how are you doing? I'm doing great. How you doing, King? I'm just going through my list here. So when I looked at that, I was like, okay, he's also responsible for the airports. Like, what's going on there? Because all these planes are falling out of the sky, and the whole issue with the FAA, excuse me if I'm saying that wrong, but Musk is also firing the people there. So what's going on there? So basically, this man is responsible for all, like, he's the head of our transportation of the United States. So any type of public transportation that you could think of, he's the head of that. So I wanted to look up who was before him, like who had this position before Sean Duffy. And I'm gonna bring him up because under his Wikipedia you could see the previous person that served, and he was preceded by. Let me pull this up here. Come on, load up for me. What's that? Let me put on the screen here who he before him. Look familiar? Does he look familiar to you? It's Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg, okay? If he looks familiar to you, Lloyd's on there. He's on it. You were smart. You already ahead of me. Pete Buttigieg was one of the picks for Kamala Harris to be vice president. He was one of the people that she was considering. When I pulled up his picture, I was like, oh, it's him. I remember him. Now, I gotta admit, this guy has a weird personal life. I have to admit. Like, he's a Democrat, right? He has a husband, so he's a homosexual. And he's also, I believe he's of Jewish descent. His whole past is a bit strange. Well, I shouldn't say past, it's his current life. And the only reason why I know that is because when Harris was, when I heard talks of who she was wanting to pick, I looked him up because I heard a lot of people saying, "Okay, it's close," and they think she's gonna pick him, and I wondered why, like why would she pick him? So I looked him up, and he has it's strange. I think even has an adopted daughter with his husband, so he's gay. He's just a gay man. But anyway, besides his weird like personal life, he's very sharp. He's just a sharp man. Now, when I read uh, Sean Duffy's biograph or whatever, his Wikipedia, it was literally less than a paragraph. So let's look at Pete Buttigieg. It says Buttigieg graduated from Harvard College and the University of Oxford, attending later on a Rhodes Scholarship. So he was so smart they gave him a scholarship. In 2007, he began 3 years of work at the counseling firm management counseling, excuse me, firm McKinsey and Company. Oh, nice. From 2009 to 2017, so that's when he did that. He was an intelligence officer in the United States Navy Reserve. Wow. Wow. Not just in there, he was an intelligence officer in the United States Navy Reserve. So he's a veteran, attending the rank of lieutenant. This man was a lieutenant. He was mobilized and deployed to the war in Afghanistan. Wow, for 7 months in 2014 before he became elected as a mayor of South. Bend in 2011. My God, this guy's credentials just keep going. Buttigieg also worked on the political campaign of Democrat Jill Long Thompson, um, Donnelly, and also John Kerry, and ran unsuccessfully as a Democrat nominee for Indiana State Treasury in 2010. Look, his is just keep going. Again, Sean Duffy was less than a paragraph. While serving as South Bend's mayor, Buttigieg came out as gay in 2015. He married Chasten Glensman, a school teacher and writer. In June 2018, Buttigieg declined to seek a third term as mayor. Buttigieg ran in 2020 as a Democrat, the Democrat Party, and presidential preliminaries, launching his campaign for the 2020 presidential election. On April 14, 2019, he became the first openly gay man to launch a Democratic presidential campaign. Despite initially low uh, ex- expectations, he gained significant movement in mid 2019 when he participated in several town hall meetings and television debates. Buttigieg narrowly won the Iowa caucus. Wow. And placed a close second in the New Hampshire preliminary. By winning Iowa, he became the first openly gay candidate to win a presidential primary or caucus. Buttigieg dropped out of the race in March 1st, 2020, and endorsed Joe Biden for the following day. The following day, Presidential-elect Joe Biden named Buttigieg as his first nominee for Secretary of Transportation in December 2020. His nomination was confirmed on February 2nd, 2021, by vote of 86 to 13, making him the first openly gay cabinet secretary in U.S. history. Nominated at the age of 38, he was also the youngest cabinet member in Biden's administration, and the youngest person to ever serve as Secretary of Transportation. Press reports had mentioned Buttigieg as a possible running mate for Kamala Harris upon the start of her 2024 presidential campaign, though he was ultimately not selected. Wow. Wow. Even though, again, as a believer, don't agree with his lifestyle, dude is overly qualified for the position. In fact, I think he could have got something way, more up there than Secretary of Transportation. I guess that's why Harris was considering him for VP. As much as I dislike Trump, if Kamala had won, it would have been much worse for this country. What if I told you that the people that voted for Trump actually just put the Antichrist into the presidential seat, and that we were all wrong, and it's way bigger than that. It's way bigger than, oh, if I thought this person was there and that person was there, things would be better. What if I told you that Trump was going to win regardless? What if I told you nobody else would have won? What if I told you that's why he never died from all of the attempts on his life? Because he was going to win regardless. Nobody was going to win this election but Trump. No one. I think 77 million voted for Trump on and 75 million for Kamala. Yeah, it was literally a landslide. It was unbelievable. I don't think Kamala had a chance at all. Just because of the things I'm seeing come to pass, especially the stuff in Israel, she had no chance. Trump was supposed to win this election. Trump is going to be the president when this country falls. Now, I will say this though. I looked up the previous Secretary of Transportation, and even she didn't have the credentials that Pete Buttigieg had. She didn't. And I looked the one before her, and that guy, the one that was before the woman before Buttigieg, which the woman before him was an Asian lady, and the man before the Asian lady was this white man. I forget his name, but man, he was into some corrupt stuff. I guess he had took like 50K from someone. Let me see if I could find it. Man, this country's a mess. Okay, this was the woman that was before Pete Buttigieg. Her name is Elaine Chow. And the person before her, my goodness, their story was crazy. His name is Anthony Fox. No, okay, I'm wrong. It's the person before Anthony Fox. What was his name? Ray LaHood. This is him, Ray LaHood. I mean, his story was cut short. He must have been just like so terrible that they just left half a paragraph for him. Not even half. Yeah. This is like a side note, but this dude, I know he must be embarrassed because this is on his Wikipedia page and it's the first thing that you see. I'm going to read it to you. Let's see when he served. Ugh, January 23rd, 2009 to July 2nd, 2013. It says, in 2015, Seeking Bipartisanship, My Life in Politics, a book by Ray LaHood. Let's go to his actual paragraph. One paragraph. In 2017, LaHood admitted to the FBI that while holding federal office, he had accepted $50,000 payment from a foreign national for a personal home repairs, and that he violated federal government ethics by not reporting the payment on his Office of Government Ethics, Form 278. In 2019, government prosecutors and LaHood agreed to a non-prosecution agreement that required LaHood to admit responsibility and repay $50,000 loan, and he paid a partial amount basically and paid 40K in fines to the US. Okay, so no, he had to pay back the 50K to the foreign um oh gosh. I wonder if they named who paid for it. The foreign national. I wonder if, no, they didn't name it. He paid the 50K back and also paid $40,000 in fines to the US government. How embarrassing. Anyway, that was a side note. I was just so outraged by the story that I had to just talk about this guy. Like, this dude. Oh my God. This guy's tripping. Like, dude, what did you do? Anyway, Donald Trump is a setup for the Antichrist system. Exactly, Lord. You see it. You see the connections. You know what? The crazy thing is, like, the people don't see it because they're not watching and praying. They're not looking at Bible prophecy, and they don't see how Trump aligns perfectly with the end times, especially again the things going on in Israel. There's a many Christians that are keeping their eyes close on the Trump presidency. Because even the people that didn't believe he was Antichrist, even they are changing their minds and saying it now. All these channels on YouTube of these people that were Trump supporters, they're turning away from him and they're saying, you know what? This is too much coming to pass. It's too much prophecy coming to pass. He is lining up too well. I think he's Antichrist. There's many of them saying that right now. And if you know the scripture, if you know Revelation, if you know the signs that God told us about in the Bible that will happen in Israel, and the fact that He's so interested in Gaza, and even the Abraham Accord, peace and safety, the peace deal that Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, who's also Jewish, that was friends with Netanyahu, his family's friends with Netanyahu, same dude that owns 666 building in Times Square. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. I can't even keep up. I believe Trump seems more of a I believe Trump seems more of a candidate for the beast from the earth from Revelation. Possibly, but I do know one thing for sure. He is a beast. You know, he's just look, at this point with the prophecies that are coming to pass with Trump, People are purposely ignoring them. If you're not seeing them, you're purposely ignoring them. Or I'm going to assume that some people just don't know the prophecies in Revelation. Did you see the golden statue of Donald Trump? Yes, I did. I think I have a photo of it. Did I delete it? I don't remember. The one in Gaza that he wanted to put up there. Absolutely ridiculous. Well, I would say this. They said it was AI. Here it is. They said it was AI, but he posted it. So he had his people, his cabinet members, create this video. I mean, it's not hard these days to create videos in AI. AI is very advanced. But as far as I know, it wasn't posted anywhere else. He posted this in AI, but he will do it. That's why I believe, because he was very proud of this video. The people in Gaza, they were outraged when they saw this, because Trump's plan is to move them out of their land, basically eradicate them there, which they believe is a setup, honestly. And I don't even blame them to feel that way. They believe that he's trying to just get them out of there and it's a setup. And they won't even be allowed back. And then it would work out in the favor of the Jewish people, because these people are going to be gone. But hey, he wants to get the Palestinians out of there. And then basically he's telling them they can come back. I don't think he's going to allow them back there. He's going to exile them somewhere else, just like they've done in the past, right? But there's a lot of history going on there. But Trump fits the bill. He fits the bill perfectly of an antichrist. Now, I think a lot of people owe Barack Obama an apology. Yeah, a lot of you owe Barack Obama an apology. And so do I. We've been calling that man the Antichrist for years. And look at Trump. Look at him. Came out of nowhere, huh? Came up with a small group of people that became a large group. People worship him as if he's God. Siphoning off worship from Jesus Christ himself. This beast right here. This Antichrist. Donald Trump is the Antichrist. Barack Obama does not fit the bill. It could never be him. It would never be him. And we should have known that. The world will not accept anybody that is black to be in that position of power. It had to be someone that was white or Jewish or both. Now, some people might say, "Oh my goodness, why do you have to talk about this race stuff? Why do you have to I don't care if you're black, white, purple, or green." Let's be honest here. This world is full of sin. And if you acknowledge that the world is full of sin, you must also acknowledge that we live in a fallen state. And there's a lot of people in this nation, obviously, that would never accept someone that doesn't look like them. It may not be you in particular, but you know of other people. You know of someone. That someone is more, that number is larger than you think. They're the unseen people, the same people that Donald Trump rose to fame for, by them. Those people that they say that are unnoticed. They keep saying Donald Trump is a genius at campaigning because he was able to tap into a section of the United States demographic that many politicians before him wasn't able to. It's those people that are in the corner of the room, not saying much, but they have a lot in their head going on. They have a lot of wicked in their head about other people that don't look like them. They have this notion that they need to keep the purity of their race. Just like kind of like Hitler did. He had that same sentiment. He was able to tap into that section of this country. Isn't that interesting? The only one. He was able to use hate as a campaign strategy. There's good people on both sides, huh? With the KKK, after they ran over those people. Good people on both sides. If that doesn't sound antichrist, I don't know what does. Rising to power on hate. Also, the song in the AI video started with the lyric, Donald Trump will set you free. A total mockery of Jesus. Oh my goodness. You're right. The song was terrible. But you're right. That song was weird. He was deceived. He will deceive many people and Christians. Exactly. Exactly. And then the sad thing is, eventually he's going to turn on us. He's going to turn on us believers. The people that still believe Donald Trump is just this righteous, God-fearing man that God put into power. Eventually, he's going to come out publicly and turn on the rest of us and on the Jewish people. It's coming. He's going to turn on those Jewish people, and he's going to cause the world and those that believe in him to be God to persecute us. It's coming. Good evening, Sister Susan. How are you and the twins? I'm doing great, Jack. How are you doing? Thank you for coming back, my friend. Thank you. I always appreciate you guys coming here. Like again, I always say like I'm really no one. I'm just a person, with a phone trying to get out my thoughts. So I appreciate you guys supporting. All right, I'm got my notes because I rambled too much. Let me cross this out. We already talked about Sean Duffy. All right, I just want to touch on a little bit of Social Security because I know you guys need to be aware of this. Um, Freaking Elon Musk was on the Joe Rogan podcast today, and he was talking about Social Security. Now, Joe Rogan, he must be, bitter as well because for for many years he's had the number one podcast in America. Yeah, literally. Like he has so much viewership that he has made history with one of the biggest payouts for a contract for his show, for his podcast. Like Joe Rogan is huge. He makes a lot of money just to really sit on, on a microphone or on camera because he also has that show on YouTube now too, and really just talk about whatever is on his mind. And this week he's been dethroned as number two for the first time in years. So who replaced him? The Midas Touch podcast. Midas Touch, I would consider them to be left wing. They make videos about Donald Trump and his buffoonery. I've watched a couple of their videos as well, and I was even shocked to hear that Rogan got dethroned. Like again, he's been that having that number one spot for many years. Um, but the Midas Touch, they um, they took his spot this week, and they've still been at number one. I think it's funny too, just a segue. Trump and his lawyers took Michael Cohen to court. Thank you for the hearts, my friend. I watch Midas Touch too. Oh, you do? Man, they can't stand Trump. They anything he does, anything stupid, they berate him on that channel. Like look, I respect them because they tell the truth. Okay, you know they tell the truth. They report it all. And it's like I think it's like three or four brothers that run the channel. Dude, I had no idea that it was like three or four of them, and they look so similar. I saw them today on MSNBC, or was it MSNBC? I think so. And they were talking about their show because basically they're number one now, and they put all three of the brothers on the screen. I was like, wait a minute, they're like twins. These dudes look just alike. They're all doing these videos, and I guess the brother shows sometime the other one, and I had no idea they look so similar. But anyway, I watched yes, I watched this one. But yeah, it's funny because they really don't have any background in politics too. I guess they talked about their start, and they basically just got on YouTube one day, got on a podcast, and just talked about like their opinions, and they became huge. But anyway, they pump out videos a lot though. They really deserve um, that position, and they're also on is it Apple Radio? I believe it's Apple Radio that Joe Rogan got the contract with. But basically, they dethroned him, and he's mad now. But anyway, um, I mean, there's a couple reasons why a lot of his viewers are tuning out. Rogan has had people call into his show a couple times, and they've just flat out disagreed with the Trump administration. I mean, some of those Trump supporters, they were federal workers. All of them had different positions, but also some of them were also spouses of federal workers, and they've been kind of calling in and talking about their experience, and and how dissatisfied they are even with just some of the policies. And they've tried to call Rogan out online, on Twitter, and on his show, and he's just kind of like trying to suppress it, because for years he's kind of been riding on this whole, right wing media thing. A lot of his fans he's basically inherited from Trump, so there's a big one washes the other hand type of thing going on. So Rogan is kind of Rogan doesn't want to let go of that, because again it the fact that he has these right wingers on his show, watching his show, listening to his podcast, it's beneficial to him. So he really doesn't want to let go of it. It's funny. A couple of years ago, Rogan said that he was a Democrat, or something similar or whatever. No, he said he was a Democrat. Now he's a Republican. But maybe some people would say he's a grifter. Who knows? Um, but yeah, I see why he's trying to hold on to this, but I don't think he's gonna be able to hold on too long to this whole right wing, Trump supporting, licking the boots of Trump type of thing, because his people are pissed. They're pissed off, and it's so bad now. Even just for the Trump administration in general, a lot of these people, a lot of these congressmen and all these people, I shouldn't say congressmen. What is the right term? God forgive me. I don't want to lie. So a lot of these people going back to their town hall meetings, these people that are like um, show me with Trump, these Republicans, they've been booed out of their town hall meetings to the point where it's happened like 3 or 4 times now to 3 or 4 of these different people that have supported Trump heavily. They've the Trump administration just told them, listen, it's bad for the image. Like, stop having these town hall meetings. That's how bad it is. Like, MAGA has been turning in against Trump like never before. Like, these people are turning against him. They are done with him. They're tired of him. And it's not a small group of them. There's a lot of them turning against Trump. I guess Rogan was trying to like recoup his reputation with these people, because he had an Elon Musk on his show today, and Musk was talking about Social Security, and keep an eye on that, because Elon Musk, he's a very shady character. Like they said, he's the government benefits queen, to be honest. um he's talking about Social Security is a scam. Yeah, Social Security is a scam for the rest of the American people, that like us, that's been paying into it for so many years, that we will never get it. So in that sense of that, is a scam. But the only reason why Musk is talking about that is a scam, because he's trying to set up the pipeline to go ahead and privatize Social Security. We need to keep our eyes on this, because what they're trying to do is to privatize it so they can take the money and put it into stuff. For example, the stock market. They want to privatize it so that people on Wall Street can start using your Social Security money, the money that you pay in from for your whole life, from having worked your whole life. They want to privatize it so that Wall Street can gamble with your money. Now, the Republicans have always hated Social Security. They've always hated the whole system, and they've always wanted to do something about it. Now, not the Trump administration has all this power, and they're consolidating power. I don't see them not trying to do this. Now, I think if they were to do this with Social Security, there would be a huge outrage over this. I personally wouldn't want Wall Street having the ability to use my Social Security money to gamble it on stocks. Now, this is concerning, because if they try to put some bill together to change Social Security, I could also see them using the money kind of like how banks do. Like they don't, you pay into something, but the money's not really there. They're investing it into something. They might even start giving it to these using it as federal money, and giving it, or using it grants and loans to these damn companies that have been using a lot of the American tax dollars to buy up property, buy up retirement homes, buy up all these apartment buildings, thus putting us into a even higher rent rates that it already is horribly high. That I could definitely see them using the money in this way, like trying to, like could like even now, the American people are in that situation because a lot of these companies, like when you pay into the tax system, a lot of them try to get money through the government to, you know, loans, large loans, which they're entitled to, but they use it for the wrong reasons, right? So you imagine paying your tax dollars into a system where these loan shark, greedy people type characters, not loan sharks, but these greedy type businessmen that buy up these damn whole neighborhoods and apartment buildings and retirement homes, you know, you're basically paying into that system and they're using your own money against you. Like it's just you're using my money to rent, like to have a rent skyrocketed so high that I can't afford to buy a house or get an apartment, like, or a mortgage because you like you guys what I'm saying, like this is already happening. So if those people have access to social security money, people like that, it's going to be worse. They will be riots in America if they did that. Yet Musk has been pushing for that. Trump also wants to do it. They want to privatize it. We won't allow it. You can lose all our money, especially in the stock market. Exactly. And they don't care. They don't care about people because they never like Social Security. Now I have to look up a little bit about how Social Security works because I heard on the Midas Touch podcast that there's a is there a cap on Social Security? Because I heard that Musk pays. They made a comment saying that Elon Musk pays the same amount on Social Security as a 55-year-old truck driver. So I need to look into this. I'm gonna go ahead and just search that really quick because that I was a little curious about that. Let me check on that. Wage wage base limits. Only the Social Security tax has a wage base. Oh wow, it does. Huh. Only Social Security tax has based limit. The wage based limit is the maximum wage that's subject to the tax for for that year. For earnings in 2025, this base is limited. This basis limit is 176,100. Refer what's new in publication 15. So basically, a person like Elon Musk, who is considered to be the richest person in the world, he doesn't really pay very much into Social Security. Because if the limit is 176,100 in 2025, he's paying next to nothing. So this is why I guess some Democrats have an issue with Social Security as well, because most Americans are below this, right? Definitely 176,100. So that means that a billionaire is paying pennies in Social Security, and then, and that means that most American people are paying around the same amount, or if not more, to well for them. That's a not even a drop in the bucket. That's a trinkle in the bucket. Wow. Okay, there's definitely an issue with Social Security because if billionaires are paying next to nothing, and now they want to use our money to gamble, like you're paying next to nothing into the system, but yet you want to use the money of the people that work hard their whole lives to gamble it. This system is very unfair because the the average American person is funding Social Security, and the millionaires and billionaires, they're paying almost nothing into this because there is a wage cap on it. Yet there's no wage cap on actual like state and federal tax, which is unbelievable. But there's one on Social Security. Anyway, I think that was on my whole list of the things I wanted to touch on. Like, if I'm understanding that correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, but that means that Musk is not paying next to nothing. He's paying nothing. And his company gets extreme tax cuts. Like, there's a ton of cuts that they can even utilize that the regular American person will never get. And I get that blah, blah, blah. Owns huge businesses, so he's entitled to that. But what what does Musk relate to me? Like, how does he relate to any of us on any basic levels? Like, even just his startup as a person. The man was born into a family of rich people. Like, his father's a multimillionaire, and he still is till this day. Like, this dude, like, was taking private jets on vacations every year from being, even when he's a kid. And I'm not trying to say these things about the rich to put them down, because money can't buy happiness at the end of the day, and we all go up or we go down, and we go with Jesus or we go with the devil. But I will say this: there is an issue with relatability here. How could Donald Trump or Elon Musk understand the issues and the plight of the regular American person when Donald Trump has never even shopped for groceries for himself in his entire life? Elon Musk, he probably doesn't even know what a Walmart is. He's never even been in a Walmart. He never been in a grocery store. People do that stuff for him. What? What is cooking? Like, these people have personal chefs, bodyguards, limo drivers. There's nothing about your life that is remotely like in tune with a person like that. They don't understand you. You're living in the gutters to them. Cooking your own food, preposterous. Going to get your own groceries, unheard of. Groceries. What's groceries? Yet these are the people running your government. Oh my goodness. I gotta go though. This is probably all I wanted to share. Yeah, I'm tired. But there'll be riots in America if they did. Okay, yes, I read this one. It's crazy that Elon practically runs the U.S. now. Yeah, it's sad. And I know all those little jokes people have been making about Trump is not the president, Elon is. I know that makes him angry. I will say this as well. People like Elon and Trump, there's too much ego in one room, too much chefs in one kitchen. They both have very similar personalities. I don't really see that relationship lasting. I just don't. It's just too much. Trump loves attention, and Elon's taking too much attention from him. And the longer that Elon continues in this role, the more money he's gonna lose, because people are rioting in front of Tesla. Like, I've seen the videos today. People literally have picket signs in front of Teslas all over the United States, and they're saying stuff on the signs like, "We didn't vote for Musk, unelected unelected president." Like, it's crazy. They don't want him in there. Trump's gonna have to make a decision, but like I said in the title of the video, is burning this to the ground on purpose. Just like the reason why he took us out of NATO. We won't have any allies when these wars start, man. None, not one. And his reasoning is because we help too much people in NATO. We give out too much money and resources, dude. That's what it's for. You do something for me, I do something for you. When it's your turn, when it's your time, and you need something, we supply that need, and we give you aid. We give you boots on the ground. Like, this is a big deal. Took us out of NATO. It's crazy. When China and Russia comes just like your vision, exactly, my friend, there'll be nobody in our corner because Trump took us out of NATO and he's creating animosity towards the US. NATO won't help. They will not because we're not a part of NATO anymore. This is like unheard of. This has never happened before. And no previous presidents have ever taken the US out of NATO. None. Just Donald Trump. It's insane. Anyway, I'm gonna go sleep. I'm tired. It's 11 o'clock. Ugh, I'm gonna drink my water and go to bed. But this is all I wanted to share with you guys. May the Lord bless you. May He shine His light upon you. May the God of the Bible give you all peace, not only today, but forever and ever. And those who believe say amen. Amen. May you all stay blessed in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Good night, y'all. Good night. Rest well. Good night, everyone. You too, my friend. Amen. Bye.